Hello and welcome to the week 8 of IS222 lab on database management systems. Now in the first half of the semester, we have looked at a different database, which was MS Access, which is not the only database management system that is out there. There are many other database management systems. And in this lab, we are going to have a look at a new database called MySQL or MySQL. MS Access has some limitations, which is why it is not used as much as other DBMS such as MySQL. So for Microsoft Access, we were using the database which comes with the MS Access software, which comes by default with the Microsoft package that consists of MS Word, Excel, and so on. But for MySQL, we don't have or anything similar built in that we can just start using right away. So we will need to install the MySQL database ourselves on our computers. However, to save you from that burden of installation, USP has installed the MySQL database on their servers and has given access to each one of you. So the database looks something like this. So on the USP server that is called the Genesis server, the database is created for each one of you, and that is by your student ID, and you can access the database from your home or from USB or anywhere using some special tool. And two of the many tools that we can use are phpMyAdmin or PuTTY, right? But there is a problem. If you are outside of the USB network, that is if you are using your personal Wi-Fi or data, then you will not be able to access the database using PuTTY. So the other approach is to use phpMyAdmin to access the database. So in the lab, in the first part, so this part shows how to connect to the database using PuTTY. But since we are not using PuTTY in this lab, I will not cover that in this video. I'll probably make another video which shows how to connect to the database using PuTTY, just in case if in future you want to access the database from the USB network using PuTTY. So if we scroll down, right, so PuTTY looks something like this. Okay, so if we scroll right at the bottom, we have a section on phpMyAdmin. So to access the database server on the USB server, you will need to click on this link, and this will take you to the phpMyAdmin page, which looks something like this. Now by default, you are given a username and password. Your username is your student ID. So for example, if your ID is S11119715, then you will write your student ID. Make sure the first letter, that is S, is in capital letters, and the password by default is your surname with the first letter in capital. So for example, if your surname is Prasad, then you will write capital P and then RASAD. So in my case, my username is Dev_K with the password. Click on go and you will come up to something like this. So by default on the left hand side, you will see something written. Mine is Dev_K. That is the name of my database. Yours will be your student ID as something, right? If you click on that, right, you get something like this. So by default, the database is empty. We can create the tables in here inside the database, and there's another one by default which comes with the database. So don't worry about the second one. We'll only be working inside the first one, that is your student ID. Now the phpMyAdmin provides a number of features. You can see on the top there's this structure tab, and in here you can create the table, and you can create the table using this graphical way. You can enter the table name, the number of columns, and so on. Then the second tab, in here you can write the SQL queries to execute. The next one is search. If you want to search for something, you can search in here. The next one is query. So just as we were creating queries in MS Access, we go to the design view and then we select something at the bottom. So we can do the same thing or similar thing in here. You can select the table from which you want to get the data, select the column and number of other details. Next one is the the export tab. All right. So in here, if you want to export your database, like at the moment we don't have any table in the database, so this will be empty. So for example, if you want to save the contents of your database to your flash or your hard drive, then you can export the database and all the data from that USB server for your database will be saved to your PC. Then in the import tab, if you want to import a file that you have exported over here, then you can come here and select the database file and that will be imported to your database. And then there are a number of other features, right? Creating table, renaming the database and so on. So we'll mostly be working with the first 4 or 5 tabs. We don't have to worry much about all of this. So going on to the lab. Now the lab activity is from task 5 in here. Everything above this is talking about PuTTY. So right, so we'll leave that out because we are not using PuTTY. So from task 5, and that is on the basic SQL commands. Now to change the database, you will use the use database command. So in this case, this command might not be very useful because you are already inside your own database. But just for the purpose of this lab, right? So you will click on your database name, that is your student ID. You will go to the SQL tab and you will enter use whatever your database name is. Mine is dev_k, so I will write dev_k. Yours will be your student ID, so you will write use and then your student ID. And then to execute this, you will click on go, right? So it says we have some message in green, so that means the query was executed successfully. Right? And then you can go back to the SQL tab. Then the second one, it says to show all the tables, you will enter show tables command. So I can copy this and paste in here, and then again click on go. So right now, since we don't have any table, we will not see any result because the database is empty. Okay. You can also see the version of the MySQL server, right? So that is by using the select version command. So you will write select and then version semicolon and then go. It says the version is 5.7.17. So the database server that is running on the USB server is using 5.7.17 version. Right. Then to get the current date, if you want to know what is the current date from the database, then you will write select current_date. All right, so we get the current date. So the date today is 11th. Right, you can select multiple things as well. So in here, both the commands are given together, so I can enter them as they are, and then click on go. So we get the version as well as the current date. Now, at the end of the lab, you will need to submit all the queries into the Dropbox. So what you can do is you can create a notepad file. Right? You can use Notepad or Notepad++. Right? I have Notepad++, so I'll be using this one. So you will write the comment first. So to write comment in SQL, you will put 2 dash and then you will write whatever your comment is. So query 1. So query 1 was to use the database. So I'll write use and then database name was dev underscore k. In your case, you will write your student ID. So that was query number 1. Then query 2. So I'll open this on this side here so you can see it easily. Right, query 2 was to show the tables. Right, so in the PHPMyAdmin or the SQL Server, it doesn't matter whether you write the commands in capital letters or small letters. It is not case sensitive, but the normal convention is to write all the commands in capital letters. So whatever command you write must go in capital letters. So that is why I'm writing everything in capital letters. The next one, the next query number 3, that was to select the version and the date. So you can write select version and current date. Version is a function, that is why you have a parenthesis in here. Current date is not a function, it is just a simple normal command. Then query 4. Query 4 is to get the current user. Select user. So if I want to know which user is using the database, right, then you will enter that. Select user. Alright, so in my case, it gives my username and then add the Seva name. So in your case, you will get your student ID at localhost. Alright, then we go to task 6. Right, and then again, query number 1 in task 6 is to change the password. Now, by default, your password is your surname with the first letter of the surname in capital. That means if I know your student ID number and if I know your surname, then I can log in to your database and I can steal your data. Right? So you must change the password. So to change the password, you will copy this command, and where it is written S and some X, you will write your student ID. Make sure the S is in capital letters. In my case, my ID is dev underscore k. You will write your student ID, and then inside this quotation here, you will write the new password. So for example, if I want my password to be, let's say, my name, for example, right, you must use a strong password. I'll just write a simple one for now. So copy this and go to the SQL tab and you will issue that command. So the password was changed because we have this message in green. And if I log out now, to log out, you will click on this icon beside the home icon. If you hover on that, it says logout. Right. So to log in, you will enter the new password now, which was Krish in my case. Click on go and you are able to log in. Okay. Then for the next one, and please don't forget your password, because if you forget your password, then it will be very difficult to reset. Your account will have to be deleted, and if you have any data in there, then that will be gone as well. So write your password somewhere and save it. Then in task number 7, we will be creating some tables. So query number 1 in task 7. Right, so we have to create a table called pet. So I'll copy this in Notepad and I can just make this look a bit neat. So 7 columns in our table. The first one, pet ID, is of type char, right, of size 3. Date of birth and date, they are of type date, and so on, right? And we have a primary key as the pet ID. So to create the table, we will just copy this command and go to the SQL tab and paste in there. Click on go. Right. So it says we get some error at the bottom. It says no database was selected. So make sure you click on your database name, right? And then you will run the command or the query. All right, so now the green message appears. And if I click on the database now, you will see that we have a table inside that database. Right, so number 2 is something talking about the console. It's not a really nice way to write the queries, because, for example, if you write a query over here, let's say I want to select the version, right? You get the result, but if you go back to the SQL tab, the query is gone. So if you want to edit something, you will not be able to edit. So what you should do is instead write all your queries in a file somewhere else, and then copy and paste in the editor over here. Okay. Right. So this is telling about how to execute the query. So we have done that. And then to verify that our table has been created, you will enter the show table command. So this is query number 6. Like the others 2 till 5, they are talking about how to execute the query. So query number 6 is if you want to see all the tables in a database, you will write show tables. Okay, so run the query and we should get one table, right? Pet over here. So right now we have one table in the database. All right, number 7, to see the structure of the newly created table. So if you want to see the columns you have in the table and their data types, you will write. This is query number 7. So the command you are going to write is describe and then the table name. In this case we have pet, and you can write describe pet or DESC for short. Right, either one will work. Again in the SQL tab, paste and run. So we get the details about the table. Then the next one is DML operations, that is querying the database. So with the MySQL prompt still open, right, we will enter some commands. So in number 2, we want to insert some data into the table. So task number 8 and query number 2 in task 8 is to insert the data. So you just copy this and you will run this in the phpMyAdmin. Okay, so it says one row was inserted, and if I click on the pet name over here on the table, you will get the data over here. It says pet ID is P01 and so on. Right. If you want to see the data using the command, you will write select star. Star means select everything from, and then you will write the table name. The table name is pet. Okay, select everything from pet. Run the query. Right, we get the same thing, right? Right, this is the simplest command you can write to get some data from some table. That is select everything from the table name. Right, the output that you see in the PDF, that is coming from the PuTTY shell. So that is why the output doesn't match with what we get over here. Okay, and then finally, to exit from the database, you can write exit command, that is query 1 of task 9. So if you write exit, then you will exit from the database. Okay, so let's see. Right, okay, so we get some error. It says unrecognized command, because you cannot exit out of your database and go to some other database, because we are given some restricted access. Otherwise you will be able to access everyone else's database. That is why that query doesn't work in here. Right, so that was all basically for this week's lab. Right, don't worry about this part because we are not using PuTTY, so you can skip this part. Right, so that was pretty much all for the lab. There were a few commands to access the database, create tables, select the version, date, and so on. If you want to learn more about PHPMyAdmin, then you can go to the Moodle shell, and there's a PDF on PHPMyAdmin that is just above the lab handout. It says Introduction to PHPMyAdmin. You can download that and have a read through the document. Now, as for the submission for this lab, just as we have been assessing your labs in the past 7 weeks, right, this lab will also be assessed. So there's a Dropbox given just above the lab handout. It says lab 7 Dropbox part 1 only. So you will save all the commands that you have executed on the database, just as I have did in here. Right? So we have about how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, about 11 commands. Right? You will roughly have about 9 to 13 or so commands. So save all the commands in a notepad file. Make sure you write the appropriate comments. Comments will go with double dash, and then you can write your comments after that. Okay, and then followed by the query for that particular question. So for question 1, this was the query. For question 2, this was the query, and so on. And then you will save this file. Click on Save As, and at the bottom, right, in the Save As type, you will select SQL over here, right? So file type should be structured query language. So the long form of SQL is structured query language. So click on this, and the file type should change to .SQL. You will give a name. You can give the name as lab 7 part 1, and then just choose a destination to save and click on save. Right, so if you see that when the file type changes to SQL, then Notepad++ is able to highlight the syntax for SQL. Right, so my file is saved on my desktop, and then I will upload that file in the Dropbox. Right, so your file must have all of these commands and queries. And that was all for this week's lab. Right, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week in the next week's lab.